Dabur India joining us. The numbers were just flashing for you on the screen. Mr. Ankush Jain, the CFO at Dabur India, is joining us because overall it looks like a decent set, broadly in line with expectations. So, Ankush, let me begin by asking you in terms of the volume growth and the market share. It seems like that the consolidated volume growth is largely in line with what the street was expecting, and that has come at the given the fact that you've managed to increase market share across major categories. Talk to us about all of that.
Yeah, first of all, good afternoon and good afternoon to all your viewers. I think happy to report that first of all, we have crossed 3,000 crores first time in the quarter. And this is the highest ever turnover ever recorded by Dabur in a quarter. And this is backed up by, as you're rightly saying, gains in market share across categories. Just to name a few, for example, one of the most competitive categories, hair oils. We have gained 200 bps market share and reached all-time high of 17.4%. Likewise, in wet toothpaste, again, a very high competitive intensity. We have gained 50 bps market share. And just to add, Dabur Oral Care now is present in every second household in the country. Plus, any of the Dabur product is now available in 8 out of 10 households in a big country like India. So, yes, that means that the execution strategy in terms of driving awareness, driving availability, etc., is working really fine. The teams are doing a great job. And even in other competitive categories like Chyawanprash, we have gained 300 base market share. Honey, we have gained 20, and even shampoo 10. So by and large, 85 to 90% of the categories we operate, we have gained a market share, which means the strength of the brand, Dabur and our all power brands are increasing, quarter and quarter. And this trend is being witnessed over last, 8 to 10 quarters continuously, which actually demonstrates the strength of our brand and also our execution capabilities, and also, is testimony of our, very focused strategy and execution on ground.
Okay. Your volume growth is a function of price hike as well as what the real, underlying product offtake is. Can you quantify for us that the growth what you've witnessed, how much is that largely because of price hike?
Yeah, so let's say in India, our growth is 8%. Out of that, volume growth is broadly 3%, which means the balance 5% is more or less the price increase. And just to add to this, over last 1 year, the inflation has been really brutal. The inflation in India was almost 9% in our categories as well. So we had to take a lot of price increases last year, 6 to 7%, and then a significant part of the flow through of them are coming. But good point is that we are seeing an uptick in volume, both at our rural, urban, as well as our by and large in all the categories. So yes, over last 3-4 quarters, you would have seen nearly a muted volume growth,
sure.
Almost flattish. But now there is an uptick, and it's broadly 3% plus a 5%
Sure.
another of price increase. Yeah.
Sure, Ankush, since you're saying that it's incrementally getting better, could this 3% turn to, let's say, 8-9% by the end of the year? Is that a realistic assumption? And with respect to market share, I specifically wanted to ask you about the toothpaste segment, because if you've managed to gain the market share there, who is actually losing out? Which are the markets where you are seeing the market share gain the most?
It's very difficult for me to comment on the call, who all are losing market share, but for sure, we in our Dabur Red toothpaste have gained 50 bps market share. And just to add on, we also took Mr. Amitabh Bachchan as our brand ambassador, and that has also been helping. Apart from that, the penetration levels of also Dabur Red are increasing. But it's very difficult for me on the call to say, who all are losing.
So the volume growth that I asked you for the full year?
And the volume growth for the full year, again, difficult to say, because as we speak, while certain categories, as inflation is subsiding and more moderating, inflation in healthcare and HPC is moderating, which is leading to volume growth. But because of seasonality in rain, we are a bit cautious in our beverage segment. Hence, very difficult to comment on how full year volumes will pan out. But, we are working and targeting at least increase in market shares in most of the categories we operate, meaning we will be growing. Our intent is to grow higher than the industry growth, and we are pretty optimistic, at least in healthcare and HPC, because as I said, the inflation moderating, so things should become better. At least it's only a matter of timing, 1 month or 2 months from here or now. Yeah.
Sure. Ankush, a quick word on the margins as well, because at the start of the year, you had given a hint that 19.5% is going to be the full year margin. Are you maintaining that? And secondly, today there were a lot of reports about your honey product that there are chemicals in your honey which are carcinogenic, which causes cancer, and that led to the slide on the stock at the start of the day. Would you like to clarify on that honey, business as well?
Yeah, so two parts of the question. First, on the operating margin, by and large, we maintain that at an annualized level, we are targeting 19.5% or thereabouts. It'll be incrementally higher than the last year because we see a moderation in inflation, and also we are pushing and stepping up accelerator on our cost-saving projects very, very aggressively, to look at every cost and every value chain. So we are confident on that. However, any upside in gross margins, we want to plow it back to our mainstream media to generate demand, because we feel that we are here for the future and we want to have a long and sustainable growth of our power brands, of all our categories we operate in. Now, coming to the second question on your honey bit, yeah, we heard this news, and we would want to say that we stand by the purity of Dabur honey. Every batch of Dabur honey which is produced in any of the factory complies with all the FSSAI standards, and both at the time of receipt of the raw material and also post the finalization or packaging of the final product. So in no way it can be, we don't know, this seems to be a very motivated report. And also, we have recently got an AgMark special note certification. Plus, to add on, all our honey are manufactured in US FDA certified facilities, and we can say with certainty that this is the purest honey India makes. Dabur makes in India.
Time, Ankush, and thank you for joining us. Meanwhile,